2020 National Security Border Security Investigative Reporter for TV, radio, and the print media. And Kimberly, by the way, is the Senior Foreign Policy Advisor for the Committee for Responsible Foreign Policy. She's also a TV correspondent, CW6 News, San Diego, as well as One America News Network. Her website is the KD Report. And by the way, you can check this entire interview out on YouTube a little bit later. And are you streaming? I'm sorry. Are you streaming on Facebook? Are they still kind of...
No. I'm out of Facebook jail, so yes, I am streaming.
All right. Okay. I'm going to send them a note. They do it to me, they ought to do it to you, lady.
Well, I did my time with no early release, so I did my time, all of it, every day.
All right. Hey, we got two stories we're going to squeeze in here today, two reports. The first being the Senate infrastructure bill giving feds go-ahead to test taxing every mile Americans drive. And the most exciting report, by the way, is coming up a little later. Bacon may disappear in California as pig rules take effect. And I'm going to give you the bottom line on that one, listener. If you live in California and if you're a voter, it's your fault. Okay, so there. Yeah. The Senate infrastructure bill, boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
This is unbelievable. Everybody's going to be working from home.
Yeah. Well, this is, the Republicans that signed on to this might find themselves up for tough re-elections, especially if they're in Congress, because tucked away in this bill is something that the Democrats have wanted dating back to Obama days when they tried to make a push to federalize, not only federalize gas tax, but now they want to charge you extra for every single mile that you drive. Now, they purportedly this will be used to kind of help build the infrastructure that's required or the updating that's required, because they've also in the bill said that it's okay now for the construction companies that put together, they're working on bridges and roads to go ahead and throw tolls on that, and now you're going to get charged for crossing over the bridge. The problem with this is most of America, they don't work from home, and most of America, like, you can't afford to live downtown because it's extraordinarily expensive. So you move out to the suburbs. So you're driving 45 miles each way. How much of that money is going to go now to the federal government to say that we're going to work on shovel-ready projects, which there are none, and something that that will actually hit the bottom line of the middle class and especially the poor class?
I'll tell you something else, Kimberly, talking about, the money. You never hear these Congress critters talk about dollar bills. It's always millions, billions.
Yeah.
So they're not going to say, yeah, we're going to charge you, 2 cents a mile. Oh, no. They don't know what cents is. Oh, that's good, yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well,
it's unbelievable.
When you look at the drivers, and this is like hit states especially hard, like California, because there's really no mass transit, so there's no alternative for you to get around but via your car. And if this, people who typically do these commutes are middle class to poor people, because they simply can't afford to live in the nicer communities, and it's something that Americans should really take a good long hard look at, and it's something that will probably result in the utter and complete wiping out of the Democrats in 2022, because in California, as we know, we've got that recall effort on Democrat Governor Gavin Newsom. Yeah. Well, what happened before that with Gray Davis in California? What got him in trouble? Campaigning he wasn't going to raise those DMV fees, and then he turned around a couple months later and doubled them. It cost him his job.
And here's something for your listener to think about. Two things. Number one, I got to ask you, are they including truck drivers in this? I think it's yes.
Yeah. They're, so this means also that your goods and profits, you're going to be paying more for eggs. You're going to be paying more for milk. You're going to be paying more for your trip to Walmart. You're going to pay more to your trip to the local mall, because that all of those costs, the manufacturing companies and the owner of these big companies and corporations, they just pass on that tax on to the the taxpayer who's paying the bills, because they're not saying, well, we're going to take a cut because that's the way it goes.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, as we go into this break, Now is another good time for you people at Amazon to consider trying to get that blimp. You know, they tried to get a blimp one time where it would just have little automatic carriers that would deliver it to your house. The blimp would be way up in the sky. And they may get it under this administration.
They might.
Kimberly Dvorak, VKDReport.com. We'll be right back.
What are you going to do with your old car? You could try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Have you heard about Vine to Bar chocolate? It's the winemaker's chocolate, the world's first chocolate made with well-vined Chardonnay marc from the beautiful coastal vineyards of North America. Gently pressed grapes are harvested after juicing, dried and finely milled and carefully blended into the finest dark chocolate. The Chardonnay marc contains highly beneficial grape nutrients, flavonols, and has a natural sweetness that flavors the luscious dark chocolate. Mouth-watering, flavorful, delectable dark chocolate goodness with Chardonnay sweetness and beneficial nutrients. And it's alcohol-free, too. It's Vine to Bar chocolate. Order some today at vinetobar.com. That's VINETOBAR.com. Cold shipped to your door, it's Vine to Bar. Vine to Bar chocolate. Visit us at vinetobar.com.
CRN with my guest Kimberly Dvorak. And remember her website, VKDReport.com. Now, this is the Biden administration. So I'm wondering, and Buttigieg, is that his name? Buttigieg, yes. He's in charge. Oh, Buttigieg?
Buttigieg.
Yep, you got it now. Yeah. Whoa, wonderful. All right. Of course, you lost half your meal, but what the heck? Anyway, does critical race theory play any part at all in this, Kimberly?
Oh, with the bacon or with the gas?
With the infrastructure plan.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's absolutely they're looking, to make sure that the minorities in this country are able to collect a lot more benefits than American citizens would collect. This is, you're not going to see people who are streaming across our border illegally currently, which the number is going to be pushing probably 1.5 to 2 million people this year alone. Add that to the 20 to 30 million already here. So you're looking at a group of individuals who are not going to be held responsible for this in the name of critical race theory. And I'm not certain what critical race theory has to do with an infrastructure bill and teaching this to our children who are in K through 12.
And as the report says, they will be on the Transportation Tax Advisory Board.
Yeah.
Representing nonprofit advocacy groups dedicated to equity, the critical race theory. Boy, I'm telling you.
Well, let's just one last thing on that point. One last thing, and this can give the listeners and viewers a little perspective. You know what? Back in the Obama days, we had ACORN. Remember that organization that was used to funnel all kinds of government money and push the Democrat and extreme left elements of the party into the mainstream America. And that was a huge scandal, and that was something that the Veritas organization really broke open. And so this is the kind of thing that the Obama administration was known for, was to tuck things like this into bills that are thousands of pages and that not anybody in Congress was going to bother to take the time to read the entire bill because they couldn't do it within the time frame that's allotted to actually take the vote on that.
Yeah. Well, I'll do a little plug here, shamelessly plugged on this program and, of course, on Kimberly's show, that my guest tomorrow is going to be Seton Motley, who wrote a big article on this whole thing. So stay tuned for that, too. That's tomorrow, whatever tomorrow will be in your world. But listen, there's more serious things because bacon may disappear in California as pig rules take effect. Listen, I already got reports. You can go to Costco, for example, and look at the cost of pork. What's going up here all of a sudden?
All of a sudden. Well,
and, like I said,
this is...
If you voted in California in 2018, it's your fault, right?
Exactly, yeah. This was voted on by the taxpayers, and it was kind of like a PETA-like bill where they wanted more ethical treatment of animals. So the pigs will probably be the easiest target first for California because under the law in California that passed by the taxpayers, that they asked to do this, they will be going after other industries within the food area shortly thereafter. Once they implement this, then they move on to eggs, then they'll move on to dairy farms, then they'll move on to cattle farms. That's where this is going in California, to get people off of meat, off of eggs, and first of all off of bacon. So the law that's set to start January 1st will in essence block any pigs from being raised in California. So first, if you're a pig farmer in California and you don't have X number of acres for your pigs, then you're no longer going to be able to raise pigs and then sell them to consumers, the meat to consumers. The law does something else that's very interesting. It actually will ban or heavily tax other bacon and pork farmers from importing that to California. So now if you like Des Moines, Iowa is like one of the largest manufacturers, one of the largest branches that they use for pigs, and they export that across the country. Well, here, California's decided we're going to not allow that because we're going to now control what you eat. And the sad story about this is a lot of small businesses that barely squeaked by with COVID and being closed, and California having these just ridiculous regulations that they could hardly reopen. These people, a lot of them are diners and their, bread and butter and bacon is what keeps them going. And now the government's going to put a ban on this, and they're going to go out of business. It's something that, and of course, bacon, it doubles in price, which is set to do in January. Again, wealthy people, this isn't going to bother them. They can afford to take the hit. But now you're going to have the middle class and the lower class not able to go to the store and buy bacon. So maybe on the weekend when it's, Saturday pancake morning, there's going to be no bacon with the pancakes any longer. So these are things California is doing to completely control everything that you do. I know we look at, the eye in the sky with the satellites and monitoring everything and your civil liberties being chipped at. This is another way to go after your civil liberties. If you want to eat bacon, you're just not going to be able to afford it. So now you're getting taxed out of existence in essence.
Well, and in the report, you notice that there's this restaurant in San Francisco, for example, and they said, hey, this is going to hit us really hard because their number one seller, they're well known for people lining up for breakfast, okay?
Yeah.
And their number one seller is bacon, eggs, and hash browns.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so there it goes. And next they'll go after the chickens. So there goes the you got the bacon and then now the eggs.
Yeah.
Hash browns.
Yeah.
How are they going to get to that? Oh, you're
potatoes.
tearing up Mother Earth.
You know what? Yeah. Well, potatoes will be on the menu.
Yes.
They'll be on the menu because California is in a drought situation. So it'll be easy to get rid of the potato industry. But like I said, the sad thing about all this is, again, America, and especially the central part of the state, was known for the breadbasket of the West. And now the majority of the vegetables and fruits that we get in California are coming up from Mexico. So, what kind of pesticides are they using? What are they putting in their food? What GMOs that the younger generation is really worried about? What are they putting in, that kind of thing? And, we used to get all of our fruits and vegetables from Central California, and they've slowly really turned off the water and made it, unaffordable for farmers and ranchers to stay in business. So now you've had all of this, these industries in California be consolidated and, brought under a corporation. So there's only a couple corporations on the West that are actually operating these farms anymore. So what are they doing? Why are we allowing them to gobble up all these family farms? And why can't people on this in the state of California at least eat? They can't eat anymore because it's going to be something that they will slowly do. They take this bacon away, and trust me, that's not the end of it. They start here and they move up.
Yeah, and in your report, it's shocking for people that don't live in California to hear what I'm about to tell you. But if you live in California, you do realize how big this state is.
Yeah.
But California restaurants and groceries use about 255 million pounds of pork a month.
Yeah.
But its farms produce only 45 million pounds, see? So you got to get it coming from all the other places.
Yeah, and not to mention now that those 45 million pounds that were coming within the state of California are going to fall under these new rules, which you have to have a larger number of acres to actually grow or actually to raise pigs in. And, that's something that maybe they don't even have the acreage available. And, that lends itself to big corporations coming in and taking control because they're the only ones that'll be able to afford this. And, in California, as you know, we're running out of land. I mean, there are so many migrants moving to the state that there's a huge homeless issue. There's a huge, we don't have enough housing for people to live in the state of California. So these are all issues that are completely going to undermine, again, the middle class. In the state of California, I mean, the infrastructure is completely horrible anywhere you go. I have not seen one road that's been improved here. But you're looking at a state that is going to be so heavily taxed that people are literally moving out, and you're going to make this state just like South Africa, just like other countries around the globe, where they have wealthy people and then they have poor people. Because when you start infringing on rights and charging a lot more money for gas, for bacon, for eggs, for fuel, for food for your body, then people aren't going to afford to be able to do some of those things. They'll probably start by cutting some of the food items out, but they won't be able to get to work because gas will take them across the energy, over the divide. And one thing about the, getting everybody on that energy grid to buy, fuel, high fuel costs is supposed to drive people to buy the Prius and other electric vehicles. Well, guess what? As you know, California is going through rolling blackouts because of the heat. They don't produce enough energy to, cool or heat a home year round. So how are you going to get the excess demand, the millions of cars that will now have to get plugged into? There will be no energy for those cars or those homes if this is what their guiding light is, and we want everybody off gas products, because that's something that nobody talks about, but that's a very real issue. You have to plug that car into the wall to recharge it to get where you need to get to, and California is not equipped to do that.
It's like they say, you don't take a little container if you run out of gas and take it down to a service station and say, hey, fill this up with, and then I'll pour it in my tank.
Yeah, you're waiting 4 hours.
A little bit different.
Yeah, 4 hour wait.
Yeah, boy, I'll tell you. Back to these, the pigs and the hogs and all this, it's almost like, I guess you'd call it a sympathy vote on that Proposition 12, be kind to animals,
That's what but this is...
People relate to that, but then again, see, they're not thinking, oh, this is going to affect my bacon?
Yeah.
It sneaks up on you.
It does. And I just want to read off like a couple other really silly laws that are on the books in California. Okay, so in Arcadia, peacocks have the right of way. So if there's a peacock crossing the road or anywhere near, getting ready to cross the road, vehicles must stop for the peacock because it has a right of way.
By the way, that's by the Santa Anita racetrack and all that, and the freeway runs right next to it.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
It's still there.
But I guess we'll slow down on the freeway as well and cause more traffic. But peacocks, it's on the books, has the right of way. And the other one is, it's kind of silly, is in Fresno, you can't skip rocks. You pick up a rock and skip it across water, you're getting a ticket.
I lived there. I worked there for a couple of years, but I never skipped rocks, so I guess I'm safe.
Yeah. And then finally, the one that I thought was like really kind of just ironic, especially when we're looking at the bacon situation. In California, it's illegal to herd cattle. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up.
Illegal?
Herd cattle.
Run that by again.
It's illegal in California to herd cattle. So, when cattle are all out everywhere and the cowboys get out on their horses and the dogs jump out and they're trying to get the cattle to go from one pasture to the other across the road, illegal in California.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I'll tell you.
that's statewide, by the way.
But and then there's another one that there's more laws listed under more laws in this article. Demilitarizing police uniforms. That's what we need. I didn't know he was a policeman. Boy, you know what I'm saying on that? Yeah. Stop or I'll shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, you look like a clown from the circus. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was just going to say, a lot of these, we're laughing at a lot of these laws. And some of them, law enforcement just don't, follow through and actually, give people tickets for, not stopping for the peacock and possibly running over the peacock. Those things aren't necessarily enforced. But it just shows you that, Congress likes to pass laws. But Congress doesn't like to go back and say, okay, back in the 1900s, early 1900s, we have a whole bunch of really silly laws on the books. Let's just get rid of those so we can make sure that the new laws we have in the books are actually accurate and up to date. That's something positive that Congress can do. They don't do that. That's something they need to do. But again, these unintended consequences that we talk about every week on this program, the unintended consequences that somebody will end up paying for this. There is nothing free about free when you're giving away products. and taxpayers will be footing the bill. And when you're trying to buy a gallon of milk to give your kids, milk for breakfast and lunch, and you can't afford that, then we as a country become a third world country. And that's where we are headed. When I was driving around California, all I thought was, oh my gosh, this is like driving around in Mexico. And I'm not talking about the people or anything else. I'm just talking about how dirty it was, how much litter there was, how poor the roads were. And, even like...
at exits, Kimberly,
yes.
When you exit a freeway, and you're waiting to get your left or right-hand signal so you can, go where you're going.
Yeah.
You just look on the side and there is so much litter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they need to arrest more people and make them work on the weekends cleaning up the litter.
Yeah, that's a great thing to do.
There,
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's something that's really, really good to do. And I wish, and I encourage, people at a local level to start trying to, get petitions set up and start, putting in place some of these common sense ideas that are working in other states and that California just doesn't, follow through with. Again, there are laws against illegal immigration already on the books. Nobody follows the law. So, for Congress, so for Congress to say that we need to do this, give me a break. They're not doing it. They do have the opportunity.
I'll give you a break. I'll give you a break right now. We're going to take a break. She's going to return in just a moment. Remember the website, thekdreport.com. Under this list of more laws, we got a California state requiring ethics studies classes, okay?
Yep.
A task force on reparations. Now, Kimberly, let me throw this one on you, okay? And I have to come at it with the male aspect, me being the male, okay? Another one of these new rules to work on are hot car rules. Hot car rules. Does that mean if you have a beautiful, let's say, 10 rated blonde, she can't ride in your car?
Well, that's not why I put it in there, but I guess it's like a very general law. It could be, you could look at it, since it's so general, you could look at it that way.
I think it has to do with those people that are doing all those little circles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just, again, this is just another added tax burden on people that, maybe they fixed up their car and they took 10 years to fix up the car and they put all their labor into it and bought all the parts. Now it's, once they, get to, make sure this car is all pristine and all that, now California's going to tax it for your efforts in working. Now they'll tax you on top of that. Here in Virginia, let's say when you drive a vehicle, your vehicle is counted as personal property, so you get a personal property tax bill with your car. So, this is, I think, what California is like, going to try to do, even though at least in Northern Virginia, there's, transport, there you can jump on the metro and get yourself around pretty well. In California, try doing that. If you go on that high-speed rail that they're building, you can go from Bakersfield to Modesto, but that's about as far as you're going to get. So, this is...
Well, talking about taxing the cars, you're already being taxed for the license tax, and even more for the personal.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's gone up, exponentially in California. And so now you've got people that can't necessarily afford this. And, just to kind of, make this, it's actually a very serious topic that we're talking about. And when people can't afford to live in California, they think, well, you know what, I'm just going to go to Nevada or Arizona because it's a lot cheaper to move there, or go to Texas. It's a lot cheaper to live there and less tax. Well, the thing to do now in California, they're trying to do the clawback. So if you lived in California, they're going to come back at you and say that not only your wages you made in the state of California and the other state, in the U.S. where you moved to, but they're coming back and saying we're going to take tax on all of your worldwide income as well. So again, they're trying to, in sneaky ways, get around the taxpayers by throwing this stuff into these giant 2,000, 3,000 page bills. Nobody knows what's in it until you read it. Nancy Pelosi made that phrase very famous.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, probably the last one here, and a warning, businesses with as few as 5 employees
Yeah.
must provide up to 12 weeks paid leave for family or medical needs.
Yeah.
So if you're starting a new business, you definitely want to have 6 employees, not 5, right?
Well, no, it's 5, and you want to have 4. You don't want to have 5.
4?
So you want to have 4 because they won't get you if you have 4 employees. But if you have 5 employees, yes, you're expected to pay 3 months leave. So this is a small business that's trying, like, let's say the nail business, the nail salons and that. Those are the kind of businesses that will be hit with this, because now they're going to have to foot the bill for 12 weeks, 3 months of paid leave by law. So how are they going to afford to do that?
I know. All out of time, Kimberly. Hey,